Ah, California. Beauty, sunshine, and beaches. While lots of places in California are truly fabulous, there's also a lot of cities in the Golden State that outright suck. The worst parts of California. You know them when you see them. They're the parts of California where you don't want to go, if you can help it. The goal today is to highlight the cities in California that are the worst of them all. How do we do it? We measure the things most bad cities have. You know, where people are broke, where lots of people don't have a job, and where crime is sky high. We even measured the public school education levels. Let's get started.
Shall we begin?
Our first stop on our unfavorable journey of California starts in Hesperia, located way out in the San Bernardino County desert. What makes Hesperia such a lousy place to live? Well, the job scene's bad. Not only are 1 in 10 residents out of work, but those who commute to a decent job have to sit in traffic all the way up and down the Cajon Pass every day. Yuck. Plus, it's a really boring place to live, where golfing in the hot sun or off-roading are the only real activities to choose from in town. What's good about Hesperia? Well, it has a super Target and an In-N-Out. Just down the 15 from Hesperia, at the base of the mountains, is the city of San Bernardino. You know when you get there when you see a car up on blocks. San Bernardino is in the top 10 for crime, has some of the lowest income levels in the state, and the public schools are the 8th lowest funded in California. San Bernardino is the type of place that you don't want to let your guard down, or you're going to have a bad time. Frankly, just about everyone who grew up in San Bernardino has moved on to places like East Highlands, Redlands, or Rancho. What's some good news about San Bernardino? Well, we looked through Google looking for something positive to say, but all of it was bad. But hey, at least they have one of the only tumbleweed sightings on the West Coast. And we'll never be royals. About halfway between Fresno and the 5 in Central California is one of the worst places in the state, Mendota. Mendota has a 12% unemployment rate, and households bring in about $26,000 a year annually. Mendota itself is a pretty isolated, hot part of the state, sprinkled with farms that have to deal with water rationing issues every year. Sure, it's an important part of the state's income, but not a great place to live by any stretch. Is there anything great about Mendota? Well, if you like authentic tacos, they have some really good Mexican food here. Continuing our worst tour of California, we come to Westmont, in the part of LA that's most commonly referred to as South Central. This is where they be hood hollerin'. The LA Times called this the deadliest part of LA County, and crime is the highest in the entire state. You might just say Westmont sits right in the middle of Death Alley, and this part of the 323 between Inglewood and Compton is the center of the ghetto triangle in the entire state. Other signs you're from Westmont? The local Subway's behind glass, they lock up the Tide at your Walmart, and there's a DNA testing truck on your block. If you drove up the highway from Oakland, before you even finished that 40 you've been drinking, you'd be in Richmond. And you'd be scared. Richmond's in the top 10 for crime, has a 15% unemployment rate, and the school system is a mess. The city of Richmond actually pays residents who are at risk $1,000 a month if they stay out of trouble. That's just sad. Seems like when you turn on the news every night, they're talking about some type of shooting that happened somewhere in or around the Richmond area. Is there anything good about Richmond? Well, they have 8 marijuana dispensaries in town, so if you smoke pot, that's awesome. And they've got some ghetto booties in Richmond, so you can pull up quick and get with them. We built this city, and now it sucks. Welcome to San Jacinto, California, the 5th worst place to live in the entire state. The people in San Ha have the unfortunate distinction of having the double 12s. 12% of homes are vacant, and 12% of folks are out of work. Is there anything good about San Jacinto? Well, there isn't much traffic and the smog isn't as bad. Plus, most San Jacinto residents make more than people in Hemet do, so they can brag about that if they want. And speaking of Hemet, you wouldn't have to drive too far to get to the next worst city on our list. In Hemet, crime is in the top 20% and the unemployment rate's about 11%. Sure, it doesn't cost as much to live way out in Riverside County as it does in other parts of SoCal, but the average household income in Hemet is about $34,000 a year, which is certainly not high enough to live comfortably. On the bright side, Hemet has 3 Del Tacos. Right smack in the middle of the high desert is the city of Delano, which ranks in the top 20% in the state for crime, household vacancy rates, and unemployment. That's some real commitment. You've probably driven right past Delano on your way to and from Vegas. What's good about Delano? Well, they have a minor league baseball team here, but it hasn't produced a league championship in about 20 years. Just down the road from Apple Valley, also in the high desert, is the small city of Lucerne Valley. You might not be surprised to hear that more than 1 in 4 homes here is vacant. There's also nothing to do here, people are broke, and the commute times are some of the longest in the state for people who have decent jobs. If there's a bright side to living in Lucerne Valley, It's so you can shoot your guns and make meth and probably get away with it if you so choose. It's the hard knock life for us. It's the hard knock life for us. Instead of treated, we get tricked. Instead of kisses, we get kicked. It's the hard knock life. And where's the worst city in California? That would be Desert Hot Springs, hands down. Another desert city in Southern California that's hot as hell, boring, and with a really bad economy. Desert Hot Springs has the 12th worst crime, 22% of homes are vacant, and a large part of the population struggles to make ends meet. When you visit some of these bad desert communities of California, some parts might be hard to tell apart, but you can tell who's from Desert Hot Springs though. They're the ones with the 40, the pistol, the beat-up car, and a pit bull. If you don't live in Desert Hot Springs or any of the other California cities we mentioned, you don't have it too badly. Congratulations.